Usage of such and so in English. I am so interested in English grammar. English tenses is such an interesting grammatical topic. Do you know how to use so and such in your speech?
Lingportal Online School presents
Intensifiers such and so. Let's start with the word so. So plus adverbs and adjectives. We use so to intensify adverbs and adjectives when we mean to such a great extent. In this case, so is a degree adverb that modifies adjectives and other adverbs. Look at the examples. It is so cold today. She looks so young. Why is your room so untidy? We also use so as an intensifier to mean very, very. For example, thank you so much for your help. That road is so dangerous for cyclists. This chocolate is so good. So plus much and many. We also use so before much, many, little, and few. Here are some examples. There were so many people in the hall. You've eaten so little, but I've eaten so much. Please note, we use so much, not so, before comparatives. For example, I feel so much better after sleeping for an hour. This is correct. More and less plus so. When we are comparing, we use more so and less so as substitutes. Look at the example, my bedroom is dark, the children's bedroom less so. In other words, children's bedroom is less dark than my bedroom. Think, accept, hope plus so. We often use so instead of repeating an object clause, especially in short answers. The verbs we do this with most are think, expect, be afraid, believe, seem, suppose, and guess. For example, A. Will Susan be dressed as a witch at today's party? B. I think so. In other words, I think Susan will be dressed as a witch at today's party. A. Are you working on Sunday? B. I'm afraid so. In other words, I'm afraid I am working. So plus that clauses. We use so plus that as a conjunction that introduce a reason or explanation. Here are some examples. It was so cold that the water in the lake froze. There's so much noise that I can't concentrate. Please note, we can also use so plus adjective or adverb before that clauses. In this case, we don't use very. For example, it was so hot that we kept the air conditioner on all day. This is correct. Please note, in spoken English, we can use so in front position in short responses with reporting verbs such as say, tell, believe, hear. For example, A. Alex got the new job. B. So I heard. In other words, I heard that Alex got the new job. A. Our local authority has given permission for a new construction near the river. B. So I read in the paper. In other words, I read that the local authority has given permission for a new construction. When we make exclamative responses, we can use so before the subject and verb to be or modal verb. For example, A. Look, Mum, I can count to 10. B. So you can. We use so far with meaning up to now. The example is, it's the hottest day we've had so far. We can use so in speaking to indicate the size or extent of something. In this case, we often use hand gestures to show the size. For example, the cake is about so small. We use the expression, is that so? In response to expression suspicion or surprise. Listen to the dialogue. A. When I came home, the water was still on. B. Oh, is that so? A. Yes. Such. Now let's try to understand the word such. We use such with a noun or adjective plus noun to make them stronger. For example, you're such an angel. You're such a nice girl. Please note, we use such before the indefinite article, a/an. Look at the example. He is such a good teacher that we all passed the exam. This is correct. In more formal situations, we can use such to mean of this or that kind. We can use it before a/an or after expressions, like the only, the first. For example, I could never agree to such a plan. In other words, a plan of that kind. Compare so and such. So plus adjective, you're so kind. Such plus noun phrase, you're such a kind person. Please note, don't use such before much, many, little, few. For example, so much money is spent every year. This is correct. And before we move on to a short test, I'll introduce you to the grammatical structure. Such as. We can use such as to introduce an example or examples of something we mention. We normally use a comma before such as when we present a list of examples, but we don't need a comma where there is one example. English is spoken as a first language in countries such as Australia, Ireland, the United Kingdom, the United States. Countries such as Russia have a large territory. And let's conclude our video with a brief test to reinforce this grammatical topic. Question 1. You are so kind. Use so, not such, before an adjective. Question 2. He has such a kind heart. Use such, not so, before a noun phrase with the indefinite article a/an. 3. My wife dresses so elegantly. Use so, not such, before an adverb. He was such a loner. Use such, not so, before a noun. Did you get it right? Perfect. I'm sure that now you understand how to use such and so accurately. Stay with us and enjoy learning your English.